Great. So, indeed, it's a pleasure to see all of you here. I'll start with introducing myself. Yeah, so my name is Anne Nyakinyo Gadura. I'm the co-director, Startup Grind Embu Chapter, and I'm so happy to interact with all of you here. And before I get to introduce Startup Grind Embu Chapter, I'll start with acknowledging the people we have today. And I can see already we have Judy Kipro who says hi. Thank you so much, Judy. I can also see we have Justin, how we know. Great to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I can also see we have Shadrach Moendo, who says, I am Shadrach Mothama, tuning from Umoja, Nairobi, Kenya. Um, his expectation is I'll be able to get enough lift to launch my career from scratch since capital and experience is a major issue for me. Thank you so much, Shadrach, for raising your expectations as well. Thank you so much. I can also see we have Joanne who says, my name is Joanne from Airport North Road. How can you begin a business online and be able to sustain it? Um, Thank you so much, Judy, for your, as well, raising what you're looking to learn, your expectations for this session. She says sustain it continually as it grows over time. Thank you so much, Joanne, for raising that. And also, I can see we have Githinji who says, greetings. My name is Githinji Murungi. I am the founder of CAMS Hub, a startup currently working on istulaya.net career wise. I am a systems engineer at Konza Technopulse. Social wise, I am a volunteer with IAEE. Reach out to me, yeah. And he's also sent his where you could reach out to him. Thank you so much. And I think that is what we expect as Startup Grind Event Embu chapter, looking to bring entrepreneurs together where you can connect. So go ahead, take this opportunity, drop in your LinkedIn handle, your business handles. Are you on Instagram? Are you on the digital platform? Go ahead, drop them there so that we can be able to interact as well. So as you're introducing yourself, you could do that as well. Yeah, so let me just mention the people that we have also on the call. Just welcome them. I can see we have Anastasia Masharia. Thank you so much. We also have Catherine Wairimu. We have Elijah Manyara. We have Ib Egbo. Hey, and then we have Joan. Yeah, Joan has said I have read her comment. We also have Joyce Jerry, Judy. Yeah, we have Julius Morethi, Kipinji. Yeah, Purity Nyaga, Shadrach Moendo, Simon Buru, and Stephen Waroe. So thank you all for taking the time to join us in today's session. Indeed, it's a pleasure to have you all on board. So before we proceed, I'd just like to brief you about Startup Grind Embu. And for Startup Grind Embu, we support entrepreneurs, the startups and small businesses to grow by giving them, we are able to offer education and even opportunities where they can come together, grow, and scale their companies as well. So feel free if you're here. Like I said, this is an opportunity, and also good news in today's session being our last event for this year 2021. We are going to be having a session where we are going to give you guys an opportunity to introduce yourself. You could do also prepare an elevator pitch where you can be able to inform us about your business. So we are going to be giving that opportunity to the business people who are here. So yeah, so get your tools on board as you're going to be given an opportunity. So I'd be able to just brief you. So we began in November 2020 last year, and we were able to, our first event was on November 4th, and we tackled on the topic leveraging digital for business growth. So that was our first event. And then we went ahead into 2021. And in April, we were able to host an event where we were able to learn on the achievable, profitable business growth amidst COVID-19 pandemic. So we're able to look at, tips in the how to have powerful sales and also marketing tips. Yeah. And then also come, in June 9th, 2021, we were able to look at money management tips for entrepreneurs for business growth. And then in August, we were able to look at some online strategies for your business growth. And then, in September, we were able to look at unveiling the mystery of cryptocurrency and investment. So as you can see, we've been able to touch in the different fields. We've been able to look at the digital space where we were able to tackle the online strategies. And then also we were able to look at money market tips, basically as an entrepreneur. Like I know there's one person who's listed feedback that one of the things they're looking to achieve as well is in their finances. Yeah. So we've been able to tackle round topics that are affecting us as entrepreneurs. So I'd like to thank you all for taking your time to join us. It's my prayer and hope that you're going to learn the most from today's session. And before we get into welcoming our speaker on board, I'd love to take this opportunity to invite our director, Pastor Kenneth Nyaga, who will introduce himself, and then therefore he will introduce the speaker of the day. So thank you so much. Pastor Kenneth, you could take it over. So I'd invite our director to say hi to us.
So guys, all of you, you're very much welcome to today's event, and I'm happy to see all of you here today. So Anne is my co-director, and she has given a preview of how we've come all along since we started the Startup Guide Embu chapter. We've come along from the month of September, and now we did our first event in November. Of course, at the beginning, we really didn't know that you'd get people to come and attend and hear what we are doing. But we are happy that we had a very successful event. And Anne has been very key in moderating for us. She has also at one point been our guest in one of the events, which went also very, very well. And she's a great coach. She's a digital skills mentor. You can find her in the YouTube media with a lot of links there, coaching many people, both in the business world and also students and pupils on the science subjects. I am Kenneth Nyaga, a digital pastor, the chapter director for Embu. So we've been having this series now, and we thank God for the fact that we've come. So maybe to do a brief preview of all what this startup guide is. I know Anne has already introduced us about the startup guide for Embu chapter, but maybe as a whole, allow me to just give you a few background, because our guest is about to get in by 11. We'll be ushering in our guest of the day. So Startup Guide is the world's largest startup community. Startup Guide was founded in 2010 by Derek Anderson. Our mission is to give startups everywhere the education and opportunities they need to build, grow, and scale their companies. So values that we follow are, we believe in making friends, not contacts. So before you leave here, please make sure you make a friend. Friends can go a long way. So we believe in giving fast, not taking. So as you join here, think about how you can make somebody's life better. Because if you make my life better, definitely, I think the response will be, I'll make yours better. And actually, that's how business works. You know what is business? Your problem is my need for money. So I have your solution, not the problem. So I solve your problem and you solve mine, all right? So we believe in giving fast, not taking. We believe in helping others before helping ourselves. So these are very strong values that we follow, and we are passionate about forces that strengthen our community and our chapters worldwide. We believe our investment in community building is what drives our startups towards continued success. So each of us lives and breathes our values relentlessly, better every day. What makes us different is our commitment to global citizenship and our goal to lead by example in this space. So as global citizens, we take pride in knowing our global presence in every community has direct impact on the livelihoods of people living there. So today you'll get top tips. We have our guest today joining us at 11. His name is Jero Zakayo. He will be joining us here.
This is the one of the greatest things about Startup Grind is getting to meet people from different places around the world. And I saw the title of your presentation. I loved it. It's an incredibly good title. And I said, I've got to try to be on this. So I want to see what's going on. Thank you all so much. Go ahead and hoping to see you and members of Startup Grind from at the global conference this year. And it's early in the morning. I actually just took a nap for like a half an hour, and so I'm just getting back up to come to this. So please go ahead. Thank you all so much.
I want to bring on the stage our guest, Jeff, who has joined us today. I want to give him the chance now to present. We are happy to have you again. You're always a great blessing. You always give us tips that help us, to get.
Well, thank you very much, Ken, for that very humbling introduction, and good morning to everyone. I hope from what I'm seeing, everyone is enjoying the session, as I've seen it's so enjoyable. And just to mention, it's always a pleasure to come into your events. And more important, it's much more exciting to get into the Startup Grind events, because this is a group organization that is shaping up entrepreneurs to be winners in everything that they do. Well, what a topic you have this morning, how to build anything from the ground up. And like you have said, a lot of people have realized the best way to build is to start from the ground and build all the way up. And I couldn't help asking myself how appropriate this one is, given that you are what I can call a serial entrepreneur. You're always starting things most of the time. I've also started a few things. A few of them have succeeded and many have failed. And I'm still starting others. Once you are an entrepreneur, you'll always see opportunities, and you will always have to work on the opportunities. And the only way to work on opportunities is always from the ground up. Not to mention that everything that is built from the ground going up will always outlast any other venture which is built either from the second floor or third floor going up. Because when you build from the ground up, we normally say what you are doing is rooted. And as I was contemplating on what to come and share with us today, I couldn't help thinking about the principle of, first of all, conquering yourself from within before you can conquer the world. So if there's one thing I would want to emphasize today, is that the entrepreneurial journey, and every journey where success is achieved, many times you find the person involved started by conquering themselves first. Then once they had fully conquered themselves, they go out and they conquer the world. By conquering yourself, I mean you got to engage in a journey of self-discovery. You got to ask yourself, who are you? Who do you think you really are? For example, if Ken, you could allow me to use your example, there are those people that say, this is a digital coach. There are others who would say, this is a pastor. Of course, your children will say, this is Dandy, and their mother will say, this is my spouse. But deep within you, the question is, who do you really take yourself to be? And this is a question that all of us need to ask ourselves. Who do you really think you are? And the moment you discover who you are, then you got to determine who do you really want to be. And one of the most liberating exercises, and I've seen a lot of successful people engage in this exercise, is something that we call writing your own eulogy. And if you allow me, I don't mean anything is going to happen to any one of you, but we all know every human being will have their last day on earth. And like when I'm doing business coaching, I should have mentioned right from the outset that I'm a business coach, and I specialize in performance turnaround systemization and training. One of the exercises that I find a lot of people finding very useful is to imagine the day after you have accomplished your mission on earth and you have transitioned to the next stage, wherever you will be. And then you look down and see the people that will be attending your burial. I'm sure if you can take that journey, you can check and see your spouse if you are married, you can see your children if you have children, you can see your friends. Everybody has friends and enemies. You can also see if you had built a business, you can see your workers, you can see your business partners, you can see your suppliers. I don't like you to look at each and every one of those and ask yourself, if each of those people was given an opportunity on the day that they conduct your funeral and they were asked to speak from their heart truthfully without pampering anyone, and they are being asked to state clearly who you are to them, what would you like them to say? And if you can take some time and document what each and every one of those people should say concerning you, then I would say your life is already figured out, because for the rest of your life, you'll be treating your wife the way you like them to witness on your final day, the way you want them to speak about you. You'll be treating your children the way you would like them to speak and testify of how you handled them. You'd speak to and you'll speak to your staff and handle them in a way that would ensure they will be able to testify of how you handled them, the way you handled them. And you do the same for everyone that comes into your life. And that is what we call living a purposeful life. So once you have your Euronje figured out, even if it is today, once you write your Euronje, you are well on your way to building your life from the ground up. Because remember, even with a building, if you are going to be building a house, first of all, you start with the plan of the house, the architectural plan of the house. You start with the architect and you tell them, I would like you to design a house for me that is so many floors, that will be having this kind of colors, that will be having so many rooms. And the architect will try and draw your house exactly the way you wanted it to be. So even before you go to lay the foundation, even before you break the ground for your house, you already have seen a very clear picture of how your house would look like when it is completely done. If you are going to live your life purposively, you got to look at it like someone who intends to build a house. And that's why we said, why don't you do a Euronje of how your life ought to look like? And then for the rest of your days, you'll be figuring out how you are going to live your life so that your Euronje will be exactly the way you designed it. How do you build a successful business from the ground going up? And like all good building exercises, I would say every good house should start from the foundation. And so every good business should always start from the foundation. And how do you make the foundation of a business? You lay the foundation of the business by identifying or by clarifying the two most, or let me call them the three most important statements in a business. And which are these three foundational statements? But allow me to summarize it in terms of what I can call the values statement, the mission statement, and the vision statement. The value statement is where passion would fall, because this is where you are looking deep into yourself and you are asking yourself, what are those things that are very, very dear to me? What are those things that I would like my life to be identified? You won't hear a lot of people saying one of the values in our business is integrity. Others would say creativity. Others would say perseverance. Others would say we are customer focused, and all of them are very good values. But I would like to propose to us this morning that the best values for any business are those values that reflect the personal values of the owners. That means even before you determine the values by which you want to conduct your business, please make sure you are able to identify those values that you yourself believes in. Things like integrity, things like fairness, things like creativity, things like open-mindedness, and things like caring. All these positive things that you strongly believe in, that is what we call values. So you could pick 3, 4, or 5 of the values that you strongly believe in as a person and adopt those as the values by which you want your business to be judged by. Your values should be the value you want to be remembered by. And the values of your business will prove very handy, especially when it comes to the involvement of other people in your business by way of, for example, if you're going to have employees, when you are recruiting 2 employees and both of them have the same level of qualifications, perhaps they have the same level of experience, how would you choose who between the 2 of them will be best for your business? And you will find that most of the successful businesses, when it comes to recruiting staff, they want to recruit staff whose values, whose personal values are clearly aligned to the values of the business. For example, if one of the most important things in your business is integrity, and 2 candidates who have made it to the final interview, and then one of them came late and they gave an excuse which you clearly realized was not truthful, then you would know that candidate, their integrity is not as good as it should be. And so if integrity is one of the values in your business, then you'd find that that candidate will be bypassed, and then you pick a candidate whose values have, whose personal values reflect personal integrity. So when you have good values, when you have clear values in your business, it makes recruitment very easy. Easy when you are looking for business partners like suppliers. And I would like to hasten and that some of us have missed business opportunities when we are discussing business with our clients. And then if our clients are value conscious and they realize our values do not align with the values of their organizations, then you'll find they will not take you on as a business partner, and they would look for other businesses who ascribe or who identify with the same values as their business. That is to say, when the values in your business are clear, it also makes it very easy for you to select who your customers should be, because again, you've been going to customers whose values are aligned to your values as a business and as a person. Then we go to the mission statement. The mission statement says exactly what your business is all about. Your mission statement says what you do. For example, you would hear people like Kenya Airways saying their mission is to provide transport and logistical solutions to another. You would hear people like the Virgin Group saying their mission is to have fun in everyday life. And those kind of mission statements make it very easy for them to focus on those things that they need to do within the business. And it also makes it very easy for you to be able to evaluate yourself, whether you're going to do the evaluation after every 3 months or after 6 months or after a year or after 3 years. You evaluate yourself in terms of how successful you are in accomplishing the mission that you set for yourself. Then the third statement, which is very important for you as a person and also for your business, is what I would call the vision statement. The vision statement for an individual, I would say this should be the same as the eulogy. This is how you would look like when you are completely done. And for your business, I would say even when you are at the beginning of your business, when you are starting out in your business, you need to take some time and ask yourself, when this business is completely successful, how would it look like? And you paint that vision. And you'll be saying, I want the corporate colors for my business to be blue. Others will choose green, others will choose yellow. Paint the picture of how your business will look like when it is clearly done, and write it down. As you know, write the vision and make it clear. So it is thus it should also be with your business. Write the vision of your business, write your personal vision, and make it clear and share it with the people that are important to your business, so that they can know where you are heading, so that they can know when your business is properly done, how it should look like. And you see, the vision will also include things like determining how much revenue you'll be doing when the business is properly done, how many workers will be in that business, how many branches you will have, which locations you'll have your business located, and all those details. If you can have them even before you hire the first employee, it will make it very easy for you to manage the growth of your business. And we normally say when your vision is clear, it will be very easy for you to attract partners and staff and the workers, because the workers, when they are coming in, you need to share your vision with them even before you hire them, so that those who will agree to come and work with you will be people who will be knowing where you are driving the business to go, so that they can go enjoying that ride with you. Also for your business partners, for the banks and other partners that support businesses, if you have a strong vision of what you want your business to become, you will find even people like banks would be able to assist you a little bit more easily, because they can see and they can be able to know whether that is the kind of businesses they want to support, and whether that is a direction that they can be able to undertake. Now, once you have your values clearly stated and written down, and you have your mission clearly articulated, that the mission statement is written down, and you have a vision that states exactly how your business would look like every day, and how your business should look like when it is completely done, then I would say you have the basic blocks in terms of building your business going up. Let me say one or two things about staffing, because in my business as a consultant and a business coach, one of the headaches that a lot of people have is how to handle staff and how to get the right workers. And one thing that I have realized in all businesses, whether they are big businesses or whether they are small businesses, one thing I have noticed is for those businesses whose vision is very clear and whose values are very clear and whose mission is very clear, you will find it makes it very easy for the workers to work in the business, because they know exactly how the end result should look like. And this is what makes most of the businesses successful. Also, when you have your value statement clearly stated and you want to do branding for your business, branding, I'm talking about working on what we call the look and the feel of your business. When people look at your business, how does it look like? And how does it make them feel? When they look at your workers, How do your workers look like when they're out there interacting with customers, and how do they make the customers feel? This is why you see some companies actually opt to give staff uniforms. Some companies opt to paint their vehicles and properties with certain colors. And I want to submit to ourselves this morning that these colors are not just beautiful colors. These are colors that signify certain things to those businesses. For example, I've heard one of the reasons why Safaricom in Kenya was much more successful than most of the other telecom companies is because they chose the color green very early in their business, and they have, if you have noticed, Safaricom has changed a lot of things, but they have never departed from the current green. And if you speak to psychologists, they'll tell you the current green signifies life. And perhaps because Safaricom has chosen a color that signifies life, that's why their life has become much bigger and greater than the lives of most of the other telecommunication companies we have around. Not that I work for Safaricom, I don't hold any brief for them. I must emphasize that. I'm not saying that the other companies are any lesser, but you'll find because they chose a color that is universally associated with life, it becomes a little bit easier for them to identify with their target group. And talking about target customers, one of the things I've also noticed with many successful businesses is that they are very clear on the target client that they want to deal with. Just like Ken mentioned at the beginning, you cannot be all things to all people. You must decide what you want to be. You must decide what you want to be remembered for. And just like you are going to identify what your values, your mission, and your vision is, those three statements would communicate the choices that you are going to make in your journey to greatness. The other choice you got to make is who is going to be your target market. Are you going to be targeting people based on demographics? Demographics, I'm talking about aging groups. I'm talking about gender. I'm talking about I'm talking about their cultural orientation. How are you going to identify or which target group of customers do you want to focus on as your main client focus? And what I've seen is those custom businesses that are very clear about which target customers they want to deal with, again, end up being much more successful than most of the other businesses. And as a matter of winding up, because I can see our time is going very fast, I would say when you look at the value statement, the mission statement, the vision statement, it makes the running of your business very easy if you will stay true to those proclamations. Because when you proclaim that these are the values that I want to be identified with, and when you say this is my mission, this is what I do, and when you say this is my vision, this is what I will look like, this is how my business will look like when it is fully done, then it is very easy to proceed and build your business once the foundation is clearly done. And I want to emphasize the target market, your target clients. It is very important you identify which main target clients you want to deal with. Do not be everything to all people. It is not possible. Remember, if you look at the example of a magnifying glass, a magnifying glass is a piece of glass like any other glass. But we all know when you focus the magnifying glass on a certain point and it focuses the sun's rays to that particular point, it will actually, if it's a piece of paper, it will burn a hole on that paper. And we can say the mission for the magnifying glass at that particular point is accomplished when that hole is burnt. If you wanted to harness the rays of the sun to start a fire on some grass using the magnifying glass, because of the principle of magnifying and the principle of focusing on that particular point, you find the magnifying glass will be able to focus the rays of that point and produce a fire. And this emphasizes to us the principle of focus. Focus, focus, focus as you grow your business. Focus on the target group that you want to deal with. Focus on the vision of what you want to be. Focus on the mission of what exactly you are giving to the world, and focus on living true to your values. I have no doubt if you allow these three statements to guide your life and to guide your business, success will be attracted to you in not a very small measure. So unless someone has other questions, Ken, I would beg to pause so that we can give people a chance to ask one or two questions. And then I say, thank you so much for giving me your time and for listening to me. Over to you, Ken, in case we have some questions to be addressed.
Did you have a time when your vision was tested and you almost gave up? How did you overcome that? That is from Jim Gueda from US. He's the startup guide director for New Orleans in USA. I see Michelle saying that value statement, mission statement, vision statement are the prerequisites of starting and running a successful. How did you overcome the testing of your vision when you almost gave up?
Wonderful. What a wonderful question this morning from James. Thank you, James, for asking that question. I think, James, I could as well say you are reading the minds of very many people who are listening to us. And I would say James is expressing something that happens to every entrepreneur. You will find your vision is constantly tested as a business person, because many times you have a vision of perhaps a certain level of revenues that you want to achieve. Perhaps you are fallen short in a certain month or in a certain quarter or in a certain year. And one of the things I would like to say very quickly for those who are running businesses is when something is not happening correctly in your business, you should not, you need not, for lack of a better word, you need not fret. You need not be anxious for anything. And like I mentioned during our last interaction when I presented to this team, is just try to look at your business in terms of the systems you have in your business. And we said there are four main systems in a business. There's a system for bringing in the business, then there's a system for doing the business, and then you have a system for running the business, and then obviously you have the system for leading the business. When you look at your business in terms of those four main systems, it's very easy for you to see which aspect of which system is falling below expectation. And the moment you pinpoint the shortcoming to a specific system, it becomes very easy to fix it. For example, if it is the sales that have not reached the level that they should reach, then perhaps you need to look at the systems for bringing in business. And if you're having products coming out which are of low quality, then you need to check them for doing the business. And if you are having a crisis every morning in your organization, or if you're having teams that are not working the way they should be working together, then you need to check the systems that you have for running the business. Obviously, when you have a crisis like the COVID crisis that the world is going through, this really goes to test the leadership systems of the business, because this is unpredictable. Nobody was ready for it. Nobody could have prepared for it. It is at that point when you are when your passion as an entrepreneur is tested. Do you have the staying power to motivate your workers to keep working on the vision? Are you passionate enough to infect them with enthusiasm even when the world appears to be shutting down? So many times you'll find when there is a crisis on your vision, your passion can carry you through, but your passion will take you so far. What I've seen being very helpful to managing crisis in business is being able to take a step back and you look at each and every part of your business in terms of the four systems that we have just identified, and then you troubleshoot from there.
Somebody had just raised the concern that is thinking about how to be able to get enough lift to launch maybe from the scratch a career, since capital and experience is a major issue for me. Son probably is now working somewhere and switch from the current job and wants to advance maybe in career, or the capital is a major issue, but he feels that it's the time to, I think, rise from the current level to another one.
Wow, fantastic! That's that's another very good question, and I want to say thank you so much to the person that asked that question, because a lot of people right now are either having to restart their businesses and careers, or because of the shock that all of us have gone through during the COVID crisis, everyone is kind of second option they can have, because we all have seen people getting laid off, we have seen businesses going under, and everyone is feeling like you always need a fallback position. And I would say it's not too that way, but when we ask if you are going to start a business, where is the capital going to come from? And if you don't have any prior experience doing business, how will you go about? And let me give you what I can call a quick fix. It is one word called mentor. Look for a mentor, for someone who has done a business similar to the one you have done, and they are willing to hold your hand as you start your business. You'll be able to access the networks that that person has, and the most important, you'll be able to learn from the mistakes that they made without you having to experience the same mistakes. Because when you have a mentor who has done the experiments for you, so you are already benefiting from what I can call tried and tested approaches to the business you are going to do. And for example, if you are employed and you want to business, join yourself into business networks, or join yourself into communities like Startup Guide and other entrepreneurial networks, so that you can also be able to learn from other people. So you can ask questions like the one that you have asked, and you get answers. A lot of people feel intimidated by lack of capital when they are starting out into business. And what I normally say is capital is what, for example, in Christianity is called provision. Provision means it is provided for the vision. And that tells you before you start looking for capital, make sure you have a very clear vision for what you want to do. What I have seen and what I have experienced in business is, if you have a vision that is powerful enough, it will attract the networks, it will attract the resources that you need. Because when you are very clear about what you want to do, when your vision is very clear, you'll be able to communicate it to other people. And if it is finances you need, you'll be able to go to people who have finances, and you explain to them exactly how you want your business to be operating. You show them clearly how you are going to make the money, even if it is them lending you the money, or even if they are going to come in as your business partners, as your equity partners, as your shareholders. When the vision is very clear, everybody knows where they stand and they know what to expect, and that will make your takeoff a little bit much more easier. Now, how about careers? If it's a career, for example, in employment, and you have just finished school and you are just looking out for your first job, what I would say is, just like we said, when you're launching a business, it's very important to determine who your target market is. You got to determine which are these companies that you would like to employ you. And if you have the companies that you want to work for, go ahead and do research into what those companies do, what do they believe in, what are their values, what is their vision, where are they heading. Because once you understand the vision of the companies that you want to employ you, I'm sure you'll either see a place where you can volunteer, or because you are checking on them regularly, you'll see job opportunities being announced in those companies. Or even better, why don't you look for a mentor within that company so that they can be able to give you an insider tip of the opportunities available even before they are announced. So two things, vision and mentorship. I cannot emphasize those two enough. And I hope you'll find them useful as you try to figure out your career and as you launch out your business. Thank you for that question. I think it was a very good one.
That question is very well answered, and I see also Shili Boshoman from South Africa is saying that mentorship is very important, helpful, and saying vision and mentorship. I get, sir.
Wow, most welcome.
Our guest is seeing us from his comfort of the vehicle. I did not say this at the beginning, but when our chief guest would not get available because he's saying that he's experiencing very critical network problems. So I had to jump onto our mentor, Startup Bride Embu, and told him, now it's your time to come and give us the presentation as a guest, because our chief guest somehow has not been able to connect us. So maybe if you are asking why is he doing this from the car, and maybe you are seeing other activities behind the screen, vehicles passing, I had to grab him on his way to somewhere, and he was very generous to stop by and at least come and share with us. Angel Zakayo started off in employment as sales executive, and is a man who has worked way up to general manager in various companies, including the leading nation media in Kenya, Yellow Pages, the Amido Centers, and thereafter he ventured out as performance turnaround consultant. That was since the year 2000. So the Sales House Limited, where he is now the CEO, empowers ordinary people to produce extraordinary results using what he calls superior systems. So he believes that superior systems, even in the hands of ordinary people, will always produce superior results. So instead of struggling to look for workers who are superstars, they come in at high price, then they leave for more greener pastures from his research. He says that it is better to create superior systems that will run your business irrespective of the person who is operating the systems. And this is a philosophy that has helped some of the most successful companies in the world, like Coca-Cola, the McDonald's, to grow into global conglomerates. So this really works as research, and the Sales House Limited has applied the same principle to some local businesses and achieved up to 10 times growth within 4 years. From the time the year started, we've done now 5. This is the 5th one, and I'm very happy, especially to see some of the people who have always come. So, and you just come on board and give us a vote of thanks. We can.
Thank you very much, our director, Mr. Kenneth. Indeed, it's an honor, to be part of this great event. I think for me, first, I'd like with, thanking our guest, Mr. Njeru. Indeed, I've gotten so much insights on also working on myself as a person, because I feel especially also with the young people, you find yourself like Kenneth told us from his experience, you feel like you have so many gifts and you can do so many things. And I think for me, that is my takeaway home. I'll need to sit down, define my values, my mission and my vision. So thank you so much for the great insights, and also for stepping in immediately. Thank you very much. And also, it's a great opportunity to see our friends joining us, even all around the world. USA, Mr. James, thank you also for joining us as well, and also the friends from South Africa and Nigeria. Indeed, this is a great opportunity for us to network and come together, thanks to the internet. And also for all of us joining in, the business people who've stayed with us as well throughout the session, thank you very much. Remember, this was our last session for this year, hoping to see you next year with great testimonies. And with the networks that we are going to, as people are sending in networks, you could link up with someone who might be also in the same field as yours. Just to recap what Mr. Njeru has said on mentorship, someone who you can be able even to walk through the journey together as well. So thank you very much. And also to our director, Mr. Kenneth, for organizing this great event, just bringing us together to acquire the wisdom, the knowledge, the insights. Thank you very much. I pray that Lord will bless each and every one of you. And maybe before we end the session, just to thank you all, and also to thank God for giving us this opportunity and life to see this day and learn these great insights. So as we wind up, I think we could remember to share your contacts. Thanks to the ones who are sharing their contacts as well.